Hello YouTube, wanted to just give a quick update here. I apologize I did not get a full build night in this last week as I normally do. Just life kind of got in the way of that. But I did want to kind of go over some work that I had done here over the last few days, just before I headed off to work. Again, 15-20 minutes here or there. Um, so didn't do too much filming, no live streaming or anything like that, but I wanted to kind of give you a quick build update 6. To start off with, went ahead and on the base here, we got the patches pretty well smoothed in. Again, we'll have to get another shot of primer on that just to make sure those are all good on both sides. But from the general feel so far, they definitely feel a lot smoother. When I run my fingernail this direction, I'm not catching on anything, so that to me just says that the gaps are finally filled, and that's all the way around. So definitely happy about that. You might notice I went ahead and knocked off those blocks that I put in place. Even after looking up a video online, it really just kind of showed me that that was not the way that they actually did the cars. So I went ahead and we'll be doing that, or went ahead and got rid of those. It was more of an arched support. But again, I'm going to go ahead and leave those off on this one just because the underbody detail is pretty crude at best. So set that to the side for right now. Went ahead and worked on the trim pieces for the back. Took and sanded down, got rid of a lot of the extra trim package here. I do want to still kind of work with these a little bit more to get them flattened out. Might just go ahead and throw some filler in there and then just sand that back. I got both sides done, and then if you notice the chrome, that is the good old Molotov liquid chrome pins. Use those. Just I've not had the chance to really use them too much in anger, so I wanted to see how they look, and look pretty good. Speaking of those, I went ahead and used them on the rear bumper. If you've seen any of the original pictures, they did mold in the number 1964 into the license plate area. So I went ahead, got that sanded completely off. I need to kind of buff that out since I got my oils from my fingers on that there. But in either case, use the Molotov pins just to give that chrome effect. And originally I was kind of skeptical about it, but after seeing it really kind of used in anger, I definitely love that. It definitely has a little bit of bumps and ridges, as you can see here on the front bumper. However, to be honest, the old chrome parts really looked like that. They really did. For the front bumper, I went ahead and got rid of the side seams here, and then also went ahead and just kind of redid the headlight bezels there. Got those cleaned up as well, and then just pretty much just kind of gave an overcoat of Molotov across the entire thing. So that's looking pretty good. Happy with how that came out. The other bit of work that I did, and I'm debating on if I like what I did or if I just kind of feel like, I ruined it or what the case is getting the openings for the exhaust pipe. Now, to go ahead and show this, I'll go ahead and drop the chassis into the body here and line that up with the holes there in the front and the back. So the way that this works, I looked, and I believe it was Ken Miles that flipped at Riverside. I'm kind of using that as a template because of the fact that it was also a Ford Galaxie from '64, and it's about one of the only pictures to show it. But the way that the exhaust piping ran was pretty much right through that frame rail. I'm actually going to take and try to very carefully drill a hole straight through that frame rail. The way that they ran it for him was through the frame rail, straight across, made a 90-degree bend, and up to the exhaust headers, kind of following the same track that the original exhaust pipes ran. I'm debating if I'm going to be able to actually do that or not, because of how deep these tubs are. The wells here are for the seats. Um, Obviously, you guys can kind of follow along and you'll see that, but I am at least looking at partially, if not completely, drilling out the frame rail right here, just on the front side of that mount, to try to get this through. But again, I'm gonna do a little bit more thinking and looking at it before I just do it, to make sure that it will fit through. But as you can see, I got the holes drilled out for both sides, so the exhaust pipe fits very nicely. However, in re-looking at pictures, it looked like they had kind of molded the exhaust pipe into the body. Looking at very in-depth pictures of, and really kind of zoomed in pictures of the 32 at Daytona from '64, it looks like this was pretty much all filled in. So what I think I'm going to go ahead and do is put a piece of styrene here on the back side, re-drill a single hole that will fit the tubing that I'm using as the exhaust pipe, and then filling this in. Now, obviously, if I do that with some basically melted styrene filler, which is basically just styrene sheet melted down and extra thin, I run the risk of securing this into place before I want to. And I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to try something. If it works, great. If it doesn't, no harm, no foul. And that is to wrap this in Tamiya tape. I might try a little piece tonight on this scrap piece of tubing here. Just throw a piece of Tamiya tape on, and then fit it through, or not fit it through, but then coat the Tamiya tape in the goop, I guess you could call it, that I would use as the filler here, just to see what happens, and to see if it sticks to the Tamiya tape, if it melts the Tamiya tape, or what the case is. If it does, then I'll look into maybe just using standard masking tape or something. But the idea is get it to where I can fill back in these holes with the tube going straight through it, the way that it was basically built to do. And then with that in place like that, I can go through and finish detailing up that area. It will kind of have a little bit of a step, which is normal and is the way that the car was designed. It definitely was like an extra piece that they attached into there. So looking forward to seeing how that all comes out, and hope you guys are as well. Thank everybody for kind of keeping up with this build, and I know I've got a lot of positive feedback on it, and also thank you to my new subscribers. Definitely look forward to you guys kind of coming along the ride through some of my builds here in the future. So again, just wanted to give a brief overview before I started this work, just to kind of show you what I had done, and how I had done it was just basically using 3.2 mil drill bit, and then just carefully working it up and in to create those arches. This side I definitely messed up a little bit and shaved off a little bit too much, so this one flares in a bit more than this side does. But again, as you work through models, and especially as you're scratch building and kind of customizing a kit like this, you can always run the risk of irreparable damage, but I think we'll be able to get this one back into shape. So do still plan on trying to get a full build night up this next week, so hopefully I'll be able to get a lot more done here in the next coming week. So again, thank you all for the kind comments, and just look forward to seeing how this progresses. Have a wonderful rest of your day.